That's an interesting question. I mean, I think because I think most of the things that are subject to misunderstanding today were probably also subject to misunderstanding previously. I think it's generally pretty consistent. I think maybe just a lot of the imagery in the hadiths. I mean, one example I give in some of my books is this idea that when in the Sahih Bukhari there's a hadith that when the devil hears the adhan, he flees wallahu durat, and he flees farting. Literally means he flees farting, right? And I think this actually there's some Muslims who read this in India in the early 20th century. This shocked them so much they actually, like the Quran only movement, people hear the Quran only movement. This actually started because of exactly that hadith like that and several other hadiths. People just got shocked by it. It just seemed stupid and silly and ridiculous to talk like that. And I think that when I read it, it was interesting because I never had that reaction because I spent a lot of time riding horses in my life. And I knew exactly what this was talking about because when you have a horse, you don't see this in movies or TV shows because it's stupid. But when you take a horse and it goes from standing still to bolting, running really fast, it will 99 out of 100 times it will fart, really loudly, 1 or 2 or 3 times with each push of its hind legs. This is just completely normal. And so that was the image that came into my mind. And if you're around animals, that image wouldn't be a problem. But I think if you're you sort of live in an urban setting and this isn't part of your life, I think you'd be shocked by that. It seems silly, but so I think that some of the life of the prophet, the idea, for example, for us, like we can't conceive of our children dying. I mean, obviously it's painful, but the idea that your child could die and you wouldn't just immediately crumble to the ground and never recover for the rest of your life. And the prophet's children died, and they were sad, but they went on with their lives. They were able to. I mean, so for the majority of human history up until the early 20th century, even into the 20th century, it was completely normal for people to have very high level of infant mortality. And nowadays, because if you're well off in the United States, you can expect that most of your children are going to survive, at least for several years. I mean, I think we live in a very specific time in history now. And even things like disease, death, the reality of life with animals, life with agriculture, that's become distant to us now.